Engineering College, Tirupati,
This call is
taking,
now being recorded.
taking the privilege to host the today's session. Welcome to the Impact Lecture, Session 2, organized by Institutions Innovation Council, IIC, of Sri Venkateswara Engineering College, Tirupati, supported by MOE's Innovation Cell, Government of India. We heartily welcome the speaker of today's session, Mr. Ravishankar Sir, Assistant Controller of Patents and Designs, Examination Departments, Patent Office, Chennai. I would also like to welcome all the dignitaries who is playing a role in the today's session. Finally, a warm welcome to the students present in the webinar. A brief introduction about our college. Sri Venkateswara Engineering College was founded in 2008 based on the firm belief that education, especially higher education, which provides a critical pathway to leadership development, economic progress, and social and political equality among the students. Here, the students are first priority and students are empowered to achieve professional and personal success by providing comprehensive educational experience, critical thinking, and encouraging lifelong learning. We are fortunate enough to have an eminent and powerful women leader like Dr. K. Kalpalata Reddy Garu, who is always there for the students in all the situations and also concerned about the growth of the organization. So, bring about the IIC, the Institutions Innovation Council, which was started in the year 2018 in our college, which was being supported by MOE, Minister of Education Innovation Cell, Government of India. Through this cell, we have many hackathons and projects which were conducted. It also helped the students to build the entrepreneurship skills.
Yes.
I request Mr. Kaliraja sir to speak a few words about the IIC.
Very good morning to one and all. It is a great honor to participate and give an introductory remarks about this impact lecture on IPR, Intellectual Property Rights Webinar, sponsored by Ministry of Education Innovation Center. First of all, I thank and welcome the resource person, Mr. Ravi Shankar Medicharla, Assistant Controller of Patents and Design, Examination Department, Patent Office, Hindi, Chennai, for his kind acceptance and presentation now. IPR is a very important instrument in the development of new technologies, innovations, inventions, and startups. India is far behind in this field compared with the developed countries. We have to spread awareness about IPR and its usefulness and necessity to young engineers in our country. SV Engineering College is taking that work forward. Is a great service to society. So I thank our management, principal, HODs, faculties, and students for organizing this webinar with the support of Government of India's Ministry of Education Innovation Center. I thank Institute Innovation Council, coordinators of SVEC for conducting this webinar. I request and encourage faculties, students to actively participate in this lecture presentation. Students must interact with the resource person and make this lecture a grand success. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. So, introducing our today's guest, Mr. Ravishankar, sir. He started working as an examiner of patents at the Indian Patent Office in 2003 and was elevated as Assistant Controller of Patents in 2013. In the former role, have been scouting for and collecting scientific and technical evidences in deciding the patentability of patent applications, while in the latter role, have been judging evidences presented by other patent examiners. Also, deeply involved in teaching searching methodologies for collecting appropriate evidences using mathematical methods based on Boolean logic. Member of the quality cell involved with PCT search reports at the patent office. Interested in India-centric innovations, patent-based business models for India, as well as in visualizing the big picture by connecting the dots. Graduation in engineering is helping in continuous learning. Believes strongly that it is tough to be a deciding authority on patent applications, with one side believing to have the strongest evidence against the grant of patent application, and the other side is represented by patent lawyers who are paid to disagree. But the best of a human will reveal only when facing the tough. So thank you, sir. Can you please take over, sir?
Thank you, Shravani. Thanks for the introduction. Am I audible? Hello.
Sir, you are audible,
Yes,
sir.
yes, yes.
Thank you, Shravani, and thank you, Kali Raja sir, for the welcome. This thing. I am presenting. I will be presenting from a laptop, and I will be looking at the chat box messages from the mobile phone. So therefore, I have connected using a mobile network as well as Wi-Fi network. So in case if there is any problem, just mention in the chat box. I'll be able to see this one. So I'm trying to share now my presentation. Let me know whether. Yeah. So is this visible to everybody?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And one more thing. Uh, you can interrupt me at any point of time and you can ask me questions. Okay. And another important point for you to understand is very much important point is to understand is that at times, that is during certain period of the presentation, it will appear for you that this is somewhat boring. Okay, because patents involve some aspect of law, or it is actually an admixture of law and technology. But please realize that in life you will be always facing with interdisciplinary things, whether it is our health, our job, or anywhere you go. It is not one subject that will be actually at play. It will be multiple disciplines which will be at interplay. So the same thing is also applicable here. I will try to introduce the legal aspects in as simple as possible and from the technological perspective. Okay, so that is one thing. And so I I'm starting now. Okay, so I'll play a Google video. Please. Uh, is the audio? Is it audible for you?
No,
Can anyone?
no, no.
No, no. Okay, okay, fine. Just give me a minute. Okay. I just request you to look at the captions. That will be sufficient, okay, to understand. So please excuse me for this technical glitch. So please see the CC captions. And anyhow, I'll be explaining this one. Okay. So So what you have seen just now is a torchlight made of thermoelectric module, and it doesn't use any battery or any other source of power. So how is it working? There is an aluminum tube inside, and on the top of that there is a PVC tube. The aluminum tube is coming in touch with the human hand. The human body will be around at 37 degrees temperature. The inside tube being aluminum, it will be hollow in shape, and is an aluminum thing. So ambient air that will be flowing inside will be at room temperature, ambient temperature. So in a country like Canada, this girl is from Canada. So the difference between body temperature and ambient temperature is sufficient enough to produce electricity, and based on that electricity produced, an LED is being LEDs are being producing light. So in this way, this girl Anne Makonsky has made a thermoelectric torchlight based on Seebeck effect. This is called Seebeck effect. It was the term that the girl was using was Peltier tiles. Peltier effect and Seebeck effect, they are two sides of the same coin. The material is same. So in Seebeck effect, when heat differential is there between two sides of a Peltier tile or a Seebeck tile, tile is a material, electricity will be produced in Seebeck effect, and vice versa in Peltier effect. I hope all of you are aware of this basic thing. So using that Seebeck effect, how torchlight has been made without using this one is let us consider as an invention. Okay, now why did I show you this one? Because now assume that for this example, I'll try to use this as many times as possible in future to make you understand the concepts of legal aspects of patents from the technology perspective. So that is why please remember this as of now, only this much. I'll come back again. So any questions now as of now? Any questions? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Seebeck effect, there should be a temperature difference. How the temperature difference is created here?
The human body is at 37 degrees, and the torchlight top surface is placed with the thermoelectric material. The inside portion is hollow, and inside portion, the inner diameter is made up of aluminum. So the top side will be touched by the human hand, so it will be the Peltier tile. The girl was saying we can also call the Seebeck tile. That material will be, therefore, when it is coming in contact with the human hand, it will be at the human hand temperature. The inside portion is open-ended. The torchlight is open-ended. There is no closed end, so therefore air will move inside. Will be able to. That is why the girl was using air convection currents. So the air will be able to move just in and out. So therefore, that will be the inside aluminum will be at ambient temperature. I hope this answers your question, sir.
Thank you.
And another small request: whenever you are asking question, please give your name so that I can address back if I have to say anything. Fine? Is it okay? Okay. Okay. So I'll move to the next slide. So the topic that was given to me is about intellectual property. Intellectual property is an aspect of law. Intellectual property means anything which is created by human intelligence is protected, and anything that is a monetary benefit that is derivable out of that is intellectual property. For example, the thermoelectric torchlight which Anne Makonsky has designed, if she has to seek any protection, it will be called patent. Things like we see Tata Salt, Tata some car, Hyundai car. So these are all trademarks. Okay, Chota Bheem payment tab. These are all copyrights. Ambassador car shape, Hyundai car shape, Toyota car shape. These are all designs. Araku coffee. These are all called geographical indications. But if I say about anything other than the first item, it will blow away your mind that it is purely law, and even I don't have much knowledge about that. In patent office, we'll only handle about the patents. So, in today's discussion, I'll confine only to patents, because as engineers, you will be mostly handling anything related to patents in future also. Okay, even if you know or you don't know, you will be handling. Suppose if you are using a smartphone, you are using computer, you are using earphone, unknowingly our life is intertwined with patents, but we are not aware of that. Okay, I'll proceed. I'll say about that. Any questions here? Any questions? Okay, fine. So to protect innovations which are creations of human mind. Innovations are creations of human mind. Technical creations which are designed by, which are thought by human beings. Okay, to prevent the misuse of unauthorized use of that. That means I have decided to use something. I am going for a patent. Okay, what is patent? I'll tell later. But first of all, patent for patent or trademark or design or copyright, there are some acts are there. Okay, these are all laws, and there are institutions. So the patent office handles patents act, and it will decide whether a patent should be granted for for inventions filed by somebody like Anne Makonsky. Okay, trademark act will look after, say, Tata Salt, Tata Nano, other things. So design office will look after designs of cars, or designs of water bottles, designs of pen, design of mobile phone, design of laptop, etc. Okay, anything. And software is copyright protected, so therefore even music, movies, these are all copyright protected. So the process involved is prosecution, registration. The names differ. You don't need to remember that also. I just gave you. I'm trying to give you a brief introduction here. So with this one, I'll stop about this one. So any questions here? Hello. Any questions? Okay, hope. Now I request all of you to please read a hypothetical invention that I'm showing before you. Please think about this one. Yeah, without telling you what is a patent, I'm asking, can this be granted a patent? No problem. Ignore that part. There is a reason for that, but please read this technical aspect. I hope you have finished. So what I will do to make the presentation interactive, I'll take names from the participant list and I'll ask you specific questions so that you will be motivated to at least read for my sake. Okay. Now, Shravani, what do you feel that, okay, if somebody like the girl Anne Makonsky has made an invention, somebody has made an invention and they wanted to protect this one, and they thought, okay, we want to go for patent. What is your answer now? I know you don't know anything about patent. That's okay. Do you think that this can be granted patent? This opinion, you will realize whether it is right or wrong after some time. So, can you answer, Shravani, whether this can be granted patent? There are no right answer or wrong answer. Whatever you say is the right answer as of now.
Yes, sir. I'm going through the inventions, sir. Can I take a minute, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. This should be given granted, sir, because it helps a lot of blind people, sir. I think so.
Okay.
In my case,
Okay.
because it is helping many people,
Okay.
like disabled.
Okay, fine. Now this is the good part of interacting this one. So patents are actually monopolies. Okay, patents are negative legal rights. Okay, enforceable up to certain period, 20 years from the date of filing, on technological inventions found worthy of grant. I'll explain this one. So that means if an invention of this kind, if it is granted patent, suppose Shravani, you have invented and you are granted patent, you will have negative legal right. So that means you don't have the obligation or right duty to manufacture. Rather, you can stop everybody else from making, manufacturing, selling, or importing this walking stick. Now tell me, now considering the earlier reply and the present explanation that I have given about what is a patent, now is there any change in your opinion? So should this be granted patent now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Again, I'll tell further. Negative legal right means you will be able to stop everybody else in India from selling a walking stick of this kind. Okay, and you will be able to price it at a price point you feel necessary or you feel is justified. Okay. Now assume that you are the consumer and I have decided that nobody in India should, after getting grant for this application, nobody in India should manufacture, and I am selling this walking stick for 10,000 rupees. Now, what is your answer now?
Maybe
Does,
no, sir, because some people wouldn't be affording, sir, at
okay.
that price. Maybe we need more investor. I mean, like many manufacturers should be involved so that they could manufacture at a lower price compared to the 10,000 you have told, sir.
Yeah, excellent. So, your basic opinion initially was it should be granted because you felt it is helping for the person. So, when you see the helping angle, the opinion was something. But when you saw the price point, you felt no, it should not be. Maybe it should not be granted. So, this is how that these are the two extremes based on which a judgment has to be taken by patent office. On what basis? There is some basis, I'll disclose that, but at least please understand that neither the cost nor whether it is helpful, these are the basis for determining whether something should be granted patent. Clear, Shravani?
Sir,
Joshna?
yes, sir, clear, sir. Yes, sir.
And one more thing, I don't know who is a professor on this thing, so I'll call everybody madam answer. That will be better. Madam Joshna, madam, do you think this is whatever answer I have given, was this convincing? If we only go by helping, so probably everything will get patent. But since it is negative legal right, I will have, suppose if I am the patentee for this walking stick, I can stop everyone else from manufacturing. So therefore, I can sell at any point, price point I want is justified. What do you feel, Josna, madam? Okay, fine. There is no answer. So, anyone else? Everybody satisfied with the answers that I have given? Neither the utility, the helping nature, or the price point. These two are not the criteria to decide the patentability. Is this point clear? Shall I move to the next slide? Hello.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So why did I say? Because why I'm asking this one? Because I started you to tell some wrong answer. That's okay. But when I told you the implications, you were able to arrive at a most middle point. In mathematics, I think there is something called bisection method. I remember studied long back. You take one value on one side, then you find the outcome, then you decide the other side. So slowly you will try to converge. You will try to find the middle path. So this is how I will try to approach the legal aspects of technology. Now, negative right means exclusive right to prevent others who do not have the patentee, the patent owner's permission from making, using, offering for sale, selling, or importing the patented product in India. So these are enormous powers. And it is also possible, there is a balance that has been designed, a balance of power has been designed in the law, that provisions are there that if any patent if is granted by wrongful means, even by suppose for whatever is that, the wrongful means I will tell you a little later, the cancellation is possible. And another important thing is that grant of patent is for India only, and it happens only at the Indian patent office. There is nothing like a Indian patent valid in America or American patent valid in India. Is that okay? Now, just to make you very clear, for example, all the LED bulbs that we are finding for purchase in India are very are costing very less compared to the price points abroad, because the LED patents, when they have been filed when inventions when they have filed in other countries, they have decided not to file in India. So therefore, they could not get patent in India. So therefore, we are able to use the technology, reverse engineer and make it in India, and we are able to get the price at the price that is available here. I have been to Singapore and some other countries like Japan and Korea. The price for the same wattage of LED bulb is around 8 times compared to India, because these LED bulbs are having patents by some foreign companies, and those people did not consider filing patents in the year when it was invented. Okay, so any question here? Shall I move to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now assume that by chance that by mistake this walking stick was granted by mistake or by whatever is the thing, this walking stick was granted to me. Patent was granted to me. So even if it is granted to me, I cannot simply do anything actually. I have to go to court. I have to tell to the code that see someone else, say like Shravani is making walking sticks like this, thinking she can make she wants to sell walking sticks. She is selling walking sticks without my permission. So therefore, I will pray to High Court that ask her to stop, give direction to her to stop manufacturing because she has not taken my my permission. Is doing whatever is doing. She is unauthorized usage. Okay, so this is called enforcement, and the responsibility of patent enforcement is on the patent owner. And the patent owner, when he is trying to say this to High Court, he should be able to prove that Shravani is making. He should I should be able to make evidences for she is making, she is able to sell that I am she is selling, that I have to show evidences, and she is using technology same as mine. The walking stick, if it is making if you use a different technology, so please look at this one: moisture sensor, water sensor, ultrasonic sensor. Assume that she is using water detection by some other way of she is not using moisture sensor or water sensor. Still she is able to detect moisture, maybe by other means, and she is using obstacle detection by not by ultrasonic means, some other means, and there is a, instead of alarm there is a buzzer. So is it does it amount to, can it be called using my invention? That the patent that the High Court will decide. I cannot decide for myself. That is what I am trying to say. Patent owner must be able to prove to the High Court that whatever is happening is unauthorized. So only then I will have the right to seek cost or penalty. It is called penalty cost. It is not called penalty from Shravani. Okay, fine. Why this now? If this is the case, if I am granted the monopoly, why is it that patents are granted? Because there is a chance that I can sell at any price I want. No, I can stop anybody from manufacturing. So what is the intent or the purpose of the patent law? Because if I am granted, no Shravani or Deepa or Bhavya or even Chandrasekhar Rao garu or Chandravati madam, Charan, Chinmay Raju, any of them may be tempted. Okay, he is making money. Let me also try to make money. So this is what is the basic premise of capitalism. So patents represent one important aspect of capitalistic society. Whether I am against or in favor of that, that is not the question. Whether you like or you don't like is not the question. India is a socialist country, how it is there? No. Even China is a communist country, and China has the highest patent filing as of now. Okay, let us not go into the politics as of now. Because the monetary benefit that is derivable from patent is so high that everybody will be tempted to make some other invention and seek financial reward for himself. So, but when you are trying to do something, one should see that we should not be simply reinventing what other person has already done. Okay, but one important point is that even though a firm or an individual has been granted patent, it is not necessary a condition, it is not sufficient condition that he will be still able to make profits or revenues. Now look at the data about Apple, Google, Samsung, Nokia, BlackBerry in around 2013. The patents granted to them are patents applications that they have filed in India, and the revenues, they are not same. They are there is no correlation. Samsung has granted a lot of grants and patent applications has filed, and revenue is also very high. But BlackBerry applications published is very high, granted patents also is very high, but revenue is very less. Now Nokia patents are 2000 and 300, 2500 patents are there. Even today, all of them are valid. I said earlier that their patents are valid for around 20 years. I said a limited period. The period is 20 years, but still their revenue is then 9,700. Today, nobody knows where is what is a Nokia phone. Nokia, nobody really knows. Very few people use Nokia phone. So what does it mean? Even though they have monopoly, they are unable to still monetize this thing. So that means patents are one of the ways of doing business, but not necessarily the only means for doing business. Okay, and another important thing. Now, if any of you are wondering why this patent should bother me, okay, I will give you examples even as for you students or professors how this is useful. Even if you don't want to do inventions, even if you don't want to do some innovative activities, still there are career opportunities here. Okay, there is business opportunity here. There is a business opportunity for lawyers, and there is startups can know what is happening and how they have to change their directions. Just These are some of the examples, not necessarily, this is not an exhaustive list. Any questions till now? Any questions? Hello? Hello? Hello?
No question, sir.
Hello? No question. And just one more thing. Is my speed of speaking English, is it okay, or is it, should I make any changes with the way I speak, the way I...
Okay, sir. Okay.
Fine, thanks. Okay, now again we'll come back to the technical aspects. Now an invention basically, which is, if it is has to be granted patent, it should be related to a technical problem and technical solution. Now if you recollect Anne Makonsky's invention, it is about, what is the technical problem there? Producing light without using battery, or without using any source of power, external source of power. The human hand itself, human being itself is the source of power, and that is the solution there. So everybody knows that there are thermoelectric materials are there, but how to maintain the temperature differential between the thermoelectric material, and how is the challenge there, and how to use thermoelectric material using that is the thought that the girl Anne Makonsky has got. Okay, fine. Now, in understanding about patents, we should remember this story of ancient story of India, that there are 7 blind men, each one will go to the elephant and each one will touch the trunk, ear and all these things, and they will start think that, okay, something which has got a big trunk is an elephant, something which has got a big ear is an elephant, something which has got huge body is an elephant. Each of them being blind, that is what they think. But in reality, these are all multiple tools. The elephant is the sum total of all these facts rather than only any of these things. Similarly, patents have legal aspects, technical aspects and commercial aspects. Only when we know all of these things, we will be able to at least get some meaningful understanding of this session today. So now I will ask certain questions. Now Shravani, tell me, if you have assumed that you have invented that walking stick, okay, you see the potential that, okay, it has got helpful for this one. So do you think that in that situation, do you think that you are an inventor or a citizen?
Sir, first of all, I would just definitely think as a citizen, sir. Only if I think as a citizen, then I can think about the people and
Okay,
get the
so
I'll contribute to the patents, sir.
excellent, excellent. So that means now the thing is, you are in dire need of money. You want money desperately. Okay, let us assume that situation. So then, do you think that, okay, will you not still use the opportunity of making money when you are in need of this one? When you have got a good invention, how much price you want to sell? Is it deciding on your is deciding is based on your need of for money, right? So I'm not saying it is about Shravani, it could be for anybody. So any one of us, we are all citizens as well as inventors is a question. For example, we will have to ask. So for example, during the COVID pandemic, Remdesivir was being sold for say 50,000 rupees or whatever is the amount. So if anybody of you who is known to who or whose family and friends, if they have used Remdesivir, you might have noticed this one. So Remdesivir, why it is being sold at 50,000 rupees? Because it was granted patent by the Indian Patent Office. Now, is it the duty of the patent office to grant patents, or is it the duty of the patent office to control the price? That you have to understand. The duty of the patent office is not to control the price. The duty of the patent office is to decide whether something can be granted patent or not. So when Remdesivir is 50,000, and assume that I'll take the liberty of somebody here, Anantakumar Kemparnagari, assume that he is a owner of that applicant of the Remdesivir patent, so he'll be happy that I am making money. So he may not be ready to reduce the price. And another thing, he has spent a huge amount of money in, he will say, I have spent say 1,000 crores in paying salaries in research activity and approvals of the drug and whatnot. Maintenance, establishment, all these things. Now is the time for me to recover the cost. So let me make a reasonable profit. So now, if you are seeing that Remdesivir is too costly, so therefore he should not make, he will say, see, remdesivir is there, that is your life is being saved. 50,000 is the cost of your life, you are saying, but your value is it only 50,000? He will ask. He will ask a counter question. Yes, it is unaffordable for somebody. Maybe who is not capable, they can donate. Maybe who are having more money, they can donate. But let me make money, because when I made the invention, nobody was caring about me. I have made 1,000 crores rupees of investment. I have created so many jobs. So and I was making you available a product as soon as the pandemic started. My invention was being helpful now. So why are you denying me an opportunity to make a reasonable profit? If this argument is made, is it somewhat convincing argument? It is somewhat convincing argument, because patent, that is what the patent law envisages. Because it is there only, somebody has decided to file a patent in India. Because these monetary words are only there, that is why people are inventing. Now Kali Raja sir was saying in the beginning that India is lacking behind other countries. All the capitalistic countries, the Western countries, in Western I mean even though Japan and Korea are Eastern countries, and Taiwan, they can be treated as Western countries because they follow the model of Western countries. And China, they've all decided that okay, now this is the only way that okay, we can encourage our inventors, our companies to make inventions, and we have to let them make money. So therefore, then only there will be some benefit. See, your phone, your laptop, these are all products of inventions which will have patents. So if we are of the opinion that something is very costly, so therefore patent should not be there, then we have to think. Now, why I am asking these questions? So that I said initially, the utility or the cost, this is not the thing. Whether something is existing beforehand, the patent office will check, and then it will decide the patent should be granted or not. So that way, whether if somebody has really invented something for the first time in the world, I am saying, please note, only if he is inventing, if he is found to be inventing first time in the world, it will be granted patent in India. Grant right is applicable only for the country, but whether somebody has made for the first time in the world is checked. So is this clear? Is this a reasonable
Yes.
is this a reasonable ground, Shravani? Because you were saying the walking stick will be helpful. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reasonable, sir.
Yeah, this is a ground that they have thought of. So therefore sometimes even this test will fail. So there are remedies available. Suppose for example there is something called compulsory license. If some patented product is not available for at a reasonable price, the word is reasonable price, law doesn't define what is reasonable. For 3 years to general public, government can actually on its own, if anybody is asking that okay, we want that product to be made by somebody else, I mean I want to make that product, okay, Shravani has patent, but I also want to make product because she is selling at 1,000 rupees a 10,000 rupees a walking stick, if I am saying, and if I am proving that the price is unreasonable, then I will get a license. So it is called compulsory license. But it is too difficult to explain all this thing in a 1 hour seminar, so therefore I am skipping that part. So such exceptions are also taken care of. Now, next question. Will it be possible for any person to know all the languages of the world? Can anybody answer?
No.
Okay, that is a logically intuitive answer, but this is an important concept that will be useful. Why? I will tell you. I said whether anybody has done in the world will be considered. So when anybody has done in the world, what we will see, whether any evidences are there in the world, we will see those evidences. It can be any language. Okay, so that evidence we will consider, and then we will decide whether patent has to be granted or not. Okay, first I said we in the sense patent office. The patent office grants patent. In the patent office, the patent there are two people who will be deciding the patent. One is examiner. He will make a primary report, and the controller like me will decide. And then High Court and Supreme Court will decide if some grant is incorrect. It will decide. It will also decide whether it can be retained. The grant can be retained or it can be cancelled. It will decide. Now, High Court judge and Supreme Court judges are not engineers and scientists. In patent office, only engineers and scientists will be there. How can engineers and scientists are deciding some technology, and how can judges are deciding on that matter? Is it possible? Can engineers and lawyers can come to agreement on one technical aspect? Is it possible? Can anybody think? Yes. What the patent office has done, we have created an imaginary person. That is, he is called fictitious person skilled in the art. It is like this. Now, assume that Kavya has purchased a mobile. So she went to Kavya, madam has purchased a mobile. Her colleagues or her friends might have told, "Arey, why did you buy for 10,000? This phone is available only for 9,000." Who says 9,000? It is mentioned as 10,000 MRP. You go to anywhere in the shop, everybody, if you bargain, they will give for 9,000. So this 9,000, you ask anybody, is an imaginary fictitious person. Similarly, Brahmananda sir has decided to buy a flat somewhere, assume in Tirupati. He has purchased for 50 lakhs, and all of his relatives and all of his friends were saying, "Arey Brahmananda, well, sir, why did you buy for this amount? This is too much. In this area, the price is only 40 lakhs, 45 lakhs." So in this area, the price is 45 lakhs. So how are they saying? Are they verifying it? No, they know. Imagine it is a hypothetical situation. Similarly, in the patent office, we have created an imaginary person, and in the name of imaginary person, we will decide, and the courts also, High Court judge and Supreme Court judge also will have to decide from the knowledge of the imaginary person. Why from the knowledge of the imaginary person? Assume that if I'm an Einstein, I will say if nothing is inventive. Say that Anne Makonsky invention, thermoelectric module based torchlight. He will say, no, what is there? It is known. It is all. It is. It can know. Anybody can do that because the solution has already, technical solution has already been given. So you will say, no, it is not worthy of grant. So to overcome that bias in deciding, we will decide in the name of the imaginary person, and that imaginary person can understand all the language of the world. That is what is the presumption. Okay. Now, next one. What is a now if I say what or define yourself, you will say I'm a person, I'm a student, all these things. But when somebody has made an invention, they have to define their invention without telling the use of that. What is the invention they have to say? If you have to say, if we can say that, okay, Anne Makonsky, that girl has made a torchlight with thermoelectric material, is that sufficient? So anybody here tomorrow is making thermoelectric material based torchlight in any other manner other than the manner that was shown or explained to you, then he cannot make that. So therefore, she can stop anybody by by telling that I have invented this much. But what she has done is something different from what she is saying, I have done this much. So that is what is important, and I will come to that again. Because I think all of you are engineering related people only. I don't think that there is any person related to science. If I'm wrong, please clarify me. Or even science people can answer. Now, what is the synonym for heat transfer? Can anybody tell me what is the synonym for heat transfer? If you want, you can even type in the chat box. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Yeah, so I have asked a question. If I'm audible, that's fine. So please try to answer that. What is the synonym for heat transfer, or what is the synonym for battery? Can anybody tell? Okay, a battery can be. You will say. You may say power storage device at the best. Okay, if I am prompt you for a long period, if I say, probably you will agree. But somebody may even write as what to say, electric store unit. Now, why I am saying this one? Because patents are related to law or the protection of technical inventions. They patent invention in applications for which patent applicants, they want to file patents. They will write in a language which is sometimes different from what is the normal usage of English. So somebody has written exchange of heat. Okay, somebody has attempted, that's okay, thanks. Somebody has written exchange of heat, and please understand, for him, Ravakumar, it is also possible to write even thermal communication. These are all, you may sound very much shocked, but these are all allowable as per patent law. Why, I will tell you a little later. But again, why patent prosecution, why in the patent office patent prosecution is needed? I told, if we only look at the purpose, helping anybody, then if it is granted to everybody, the price will be very high. So therefore, we should ensure only valid and prescribed ones get negative right. Because it is negative right, we should only ensure that valid persons and prescribed ones. What is the valid and prescribed? I have told one condition that they should be the first ones compared to anybody else in the world. So in the patent office, we will do a search. Okay, it is not searching in Google, some other thing. Some search whereby whether somebody has really done for the first time in the world or not, we will check. And then what will happen? We will send an examination report. That examination report will say whether your Anne Makonsky or the walking stick invention, whether they can be granted patent or not, we will say. And if the inventor is like, say, Lavakumar or Shravani or Kali Raja sir, if you have the opinion that, okay, now the patent office is denying me an opportunity of grant of patent, no, I want to, anyhow, I want to get a patent. So therefore, you can disagree with us, you can come and there can be a hearing like in court, and then we have to give a decision just like court, and controllers will give judgment. And even if you are not satisfied with the judgment, you can go to High Court and Supreme Court also. Any questions up until now, or is this too boring as of now? No, I want honest answers. Because if it is boring, I'll try to make it much more simpler. Please be honest and frank. I don't mind.
Please carry on, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, Shravani and others who are all thinking that, okay, patents appear to be negative rights, they should not be, they are taking away the rights of the citizens. Please observe the filing of the Indian universities and colleges they have been making since the year 2015. Now, one of the criteria for NIRF is that how many patents you people have filed as a college or individuals or whatever it is. Okay, and if you want to be a startup, if there is if you want to make create a startup, then the venture capitalist people are asking whether do you have any patents. The patent applications were filed. Or if you want to go for any job, then they're also asking whether you have any knowledge of patents, all these things. And I have seen an invention filed by engineering college people in Pune. What is that? It is an invention about uh, Alzheimer's disease detection. Okay, because in Alzheimer's disease, I think Alzheimer's or in some disease, I forgot the name. The human hand will be vibrating, and they will be analyzing the vibrations by tying a band to the hand, and vibrations will be collected, and they will be compared with the normal vibrations. And if they are found to be of a different kind of vibrations, which whose signatures, electronic signatures are stored in the memory, then it will say that, okay, there is something that you need to take care of. And this application was filed in 2017 or 18, and the European, there was somebody in Europe who have filed in 2018, 2013. Okay, so we have sent a report saying that this is not patentable, but nonetheless, that is very good, because commendable, because fourth year engineering students were able to do that, which some company in Europe was able to do. Probably the average age of those inventors will be around 30 to 40. So a 20, 21-year-old people are able to do this one. So if more and more people are innovating, so there is the chance of more products being available in the market will be there. So therefore, price will also come down. So even though there are different, even though all of you individually have taken patents, but each product has got different patents, the chance that, okay, price will be coming down. For example, the Yamaha bike, Hero, Honda bike, TVS bike, they're all in certain aspects of them will be patented, but nobody is pricing it abnormally, unless otherwise there is some of them has got only one patent and no one has got that patent. In that case, he might be pricing it higher than anyone else. Okay, so any questions here? Okay, otherwise I'll proceed further. Okay, now let us come back to this our own walking stick example. Now please read this once again and tell me how is it different from what I have written earlier. Please read this carefully. Hello. I request all of you to read this one. I'll be happy if you say just yes in the chat box.
Here, ultrasonic is not mentioned.
Yeah, very good. ultrasonic is not mentioned, and then what else is not mentioned? The type of moisture sensor is not mentioned, right? So the details are hazy, unclear compared to the earlier one. So when any of you, if you want to file a patent, you should be giving the minimum, you should be minimum required details you should be giving. You should not be trying to hide anything. This is what these inventions, whoever was making inventions, some of them have the habit of doing this one because of ignorance. If any of you tomorrow is deciding to file a patent, don't try to hide something, because once you hide something, after filing you cannot come and tell the patent office that says, see, I have, sorry, I have forgotten to add, I will add. No, you can't do that. That is what the purpose is. Now again, see this one. Now I have modified it further again. A walking stick, no, I said it is made up of wood, capable having a moisture sensor and ultrasonic sensor, sensing pits and trenches. I am writing the purpose. And surface obstacles by moisture sensor and ultrasonic sensor. That, okay. The moisture sensor is made up of this one, having a specifications of so and so, powered by so much voltage, a battery of so much voltage. This is another way of writing this one. So this is also technology, that is also technology, but in the earlier in this previous slide, many things are being hidden. This is better. Okay, this is a reasonable way of writing this thing. But the specifications doesn't require to be given. If at all anybody of you is trying to make, in that case, what will happen? The chance that people may actually copy and make slight changes, and they may even go for they themselves may, other people may start manufacturing. Okay, next. Another example about the thermoelectric torchlight, or the Seebeck effect. Now, Anne Makonsky invention I have just written in black here. Like a tube housed in another tube with thermoelectric module, temperature differential between thermoelectric module is transformed into electricity by the thermoelectric module powering the LEDs. Again, many features, a lot of information is missing. What is missing? What is the source of heat? That is missing. How transfer of heat from one source to the other, one side of the from the source, that is the human body, to the other side of the thermoelectric module is happening, and how temperature difference is obtained are not being clearly mentioned. So when you, if at all anybody is thinking of filing patent applications, that should be sufficient actually. So what is the condition? Now I will tell the legal aspect of that. That I have given the example in the simple terms. Again, the legal aspect is that, assume that Chandrasekhar Rao Sargaru is trying to make an application. He should write whatever is known to him, and on the basis of whatever is known and given to the patent office, only we will decide whether patent has to be given or not. After the examination report is sent, after suppose I said a court like hearing happens, at that time he cannot say, sir, no sir, I cannot, I have forgotten, sir, I have, for some reason I have not disclosed. He cannot try to add then. So whatever he has written, on that basis, whatever he is saying is possible, that should happen. That is one thing. And second condition is, any other skilled person, I told there is an imaginary person we have created. That imaginary person, he should be able to reach the invention after some due experimentation. That means if your invention is 100, you can tell up to 80% only. You don't need to tell the nuts and bolts. Okay, so, but that person should be able to arrive at the invention after some level of experimentation. That means you don't need to disclose everything. Otherwise, somebody might be simply copying, and you may not be able to prove infringement if it is granted. Okay. So I have written in the fourth point that written matter once filed in the patent office cannot be modified later. That whatever you have told originally and later cannot change. Suppose in this example, you have only told a tube housed in another tube with thermoelectric belt module. Only whatever is there in the black, if you have written that much. You can't now add what is the source of heat. That you can't add later. So it is extremely important that whatever is known to you, you should write, and we will decide on what basis whatever is written, whether it is workable, whether it is a device can be made of, whether a process can work like this. That is what we will see. We cannot and should not look into your brain and think, okay, might be it will be working in this manner. No, we are not supposed to do. And anybody, if he suppose he manages to get a patent also, it will be liable for revocation or cancellation. Any questions here? Any questions? Okay. Hope I'm not boring. So the legal aspect of this one is this one. Whenever you want to file an application, how it should be filed, it is there. So I'll just leave. I don't want to read this one. I will share the presentation with Chandrasekhar sir later, so you can read. Okay, it is this thing. Now let us take the walking stick example that we were seeing earlier. Okay. Now, can each of you please read this, whatever is mentioned here carefully? It will take at least 3-4 minutes. That's okay, but please read this one. I hope you have finished. In fact, when trying to read, I was just imagining myself as one of you people, and I was trying to read very slowly. This is the concept of imaginary thinking from the other side. Okay. Now, I have written here, can you spot a career opportunity here? Is this engineering? Is this law? Or is this English? Can anybody answer? My question is very simple. Whatever is there in front of you, is this engineering, or is this technical, legal, or is this only plain English? Any answers, please? Or you can even type in chat box. Hello. Hello. Yes, please. Can anyone answer to the question I have posed? Can we call this as a technical? This is a Chandrasekhar sir he's saying that it is a combination of all. I agree with him fully. Anyone else? So
Technical.
yeah. So somebody has said technical. Now what Chandrasekhar sir has said is correct. So it is a legal, technical, and English. So if somebody who is an engineer, if he can be trained in patent law, they will be able to write like this. And these jobs are called patent drafting jobs. Engineers and scientists, they can apply for these jobs after training of say 3-4 months. The jobs one will be able to get comfortable in this job, and these are decent paying jobs. One will actually be even writing patents for American companies also, for based on outsourcing. There are some outsourcing companies, and for Indian firms also somebody can write in India. So these jobs pay pretty decently for an experience of 2-3 years, and they pay around not less than 4-5 lakhs after per annum after at least 2 to 3 years of experience. And those who are very well experienced, they there are the biggest patent firm in Chennai, patent law firm, is the biggest income tax filer in Chennai. Please imagine how rich they are. In the city of Chennai, the biggest patent firm is the biggest income tax filer in the city of Chennai. That is the turnover of these firms. Okay. Now, whatever is shown here is called claim. Claim means, what is claim? Boundary of the invention. What was invented is being defined in boundary in terms of words, and there will be the elements of the invention will be there. And what is happening? The functional interaction between elements is there. Whenever sensor is coming in contact with water, alarm is buzzing. Sensor is touching water and alarm is working. So that is called functional interaction between the technical elements. Okay. Now, why claims are there and what is the purpose of claims? Anybody tomorrow, if he wants to, if he has to go to court, or if he is saying that somebody is using my invention, it is the basis of the claim, on the basis of the claims, that whether how much money you can make or you cannot make, it will be decided on the basis of the claims. Okay. Now again, I'm just repeating this one. I just kept this one. What happens in the patent office? Now we will see checking for similar technology of technology. What did I say earlier? The walking stick, whether it should be granted patent or not, we will see whether anyone else has made it for the first time in the world. We will see, and then we will give the negative monopoly in India for him. Okay, so for that purpose we have to collect evidences. So when we have collected evidences, how should be the evidences? There are some principles, there are some rules. Okay, it is like this. So please read this one. This is a US patent application filed in 2005. Please read this one. Okay. Now assume that somehow I have found an evidence like this. Now please read this evidence now. Now we will see whether the this one is patentable or not in because of the evidence available. Please read this one therefore. Okay, so even though these two things appear actually separate for different for us from visual appearance, in their function they are both what they are doing. They are personal devices, and they are spraying device for personal defense, and they have a communication device attached to that. This is a hypothetical example. That is why that it is wrapped with a tape with to the spraying device. But here, the spraying part has been wrapped to the mobile phone. So even though they appear as different, functionally and elements, whatever are the technical components wise, they are same. So therefore, this criteria is called novelty, and as per that, this particular example of 2006 is not patentable if I am finding an evidence like this. Shravani has told earlier, and some of you might also share this concern, that if patents are so much powerful, so there is a chance that pricing misuse might happen. So that is why this criteria was created, novelty. So even so, the patent office has to look for such evidences, and even though they are so different in appearance, the purpose and the technical elements, they being same and the function being the same. So therefore, we the whatever is there in the so-called figure 1A is not patentable if the device on the right side is known. So therefore, there can be no monopoly for the device in the figure 1A, even though he has filed in even though it is there in filed in it appears to be different. So that way, the general public is spared of monopoly that would have been granted to this figure 1A, and they did not pay a higher price, for example, because there is an evidence available. So the law has given such flexibility to patent office to take care that undue inventions are not granted patents first. Now, this is called evidence is called prior art. These terms are Latin terms because this is law. Latin terms will be there. So therefore, don't worry about the names of this thing. That is why I have used the simple English evidence. Evidence doesn't need to exist physically. It can be even. It did not be existing commercially. It can be even in a paper also. So that will be sufficient. What is enough is that it has to someone somewhere sometime previously might have described, that means it might be written or shown or made something that contains a use of a technology that is a very similar to the invention. That is what is called evidence. So therefore, a centuries old technology available in a old paper, handwritten paper, or a YouTube video, or a picture from Instagram, even they are sufficient as evidences. So that is how strictly monopolies grant will be tried to control. Will be okay. First thing. Second, publication. Any document anywhere is published or claimed or anything that is filed before the patent office or forms part of the knowledge, oral knowledge. Even oral knowledge is also sufficient sometimes. Otherwise, available within local or indigenous community or okay, else or elsewhere or in the world or anywhere in the world or used anything. These all things are come under publication. So that means any sort of thing, knowledge that is known can be considered as known by any means is considered as publication. So because it has got enormous patents give enormous power to the owner, so this balance is there. This strong counterbalance is created. Next, again the same thing, walking stick. I have example I have made, and what is it that I have written here now? The walking stick moisture sensor configured to sense at least 2-inch deep water, actuatable to alert the device when sensed by obstacle. These words I have deliberately highlighted because these are essential elements. Now, I will now introduce you to another concept of patentability, whether something can be granted to patent or not. Okay, that I will introduce to you now. Now, please read this invention that is before us. Okay. Now, Shravani, I have a question for you because the point you made in the beginning was very good. So, assume that this environmental sensor is known. This is a walking stick. This walking stick is able to find the moisture or water in the ground. Okay, whenever it is coming in contact, it is giving some indication. That is what is this is saying. Can this patent, which was filed in India, I assume that in 2007, be granted patent in view of this one? What do you feel? What is your answer? Should it be granted? Yes or no? If only this is the evidence, or anyone else also can say. I just took her name because her name was appearing here, so and as a first name, so that is why I took her name. Anyone else? Manjunath, sir.
It will be granted, sir.
Who has said this? Please answer. What is it?
It is useful for the blind people, right?
But I was saying that monopoly, that at any price, but this is only talking about moisture sensor. It is not talking about the ultrasonic sensor. So should we grant patent to the Indian applicant? The evidence is only partial, not full. So should we grant patent? Just think of it. Sushma madam, Kalyan Kaushik sir, Deepika madam, Kali Raja sir, Sharana Lata, Madhavi Lata madam, any of you. I'm just taking names.
Sir, it will be granted, sir.
Okay, because if this is the only evidence available to us, the walking stick that we have before us doesn't is also having the ultrasonic sensor, so it can be granted. So now please read this one now. We have another evidence. I have collected another evidence in the Indian Patent Office that application was filed. The 2007 application. This application was filed in 2007. So the patent office has collected this evidence as evidence one, and this is the second evidence. What is this second evidence? Please read this one.
This is very small letters, sir. Can you make it magnify?
Okay, fine. I'll simply jump. Okay. Now, is this visible to you, all of you? Is this table visible to you?
Yes.
So the second invention is having the ultrasound sensor, vibrator, buzzer, assisting blind person. It is also walking stick. The first evidence is a walking stick. It has got alarm. It has got sensor for moisture. Now the walking stick example in 2007. I am. Hello. 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 Now the words in red represent the invention that we were discussing initially. This one. Okay. Now please think yourself, if the invention of 2007, which has got moisture sensor for pit detection, it has got an ultrasound sensor, alarm, buzzer, and purpose that we have read already, and we have two evidences. Now tell me, if we have Great Britain patent application and US patent application are available as evidences to us, should we grant patent to this application or not? Can anyone answer?
No.
Who is this? Can you identify yourself, please?
Sir. Sir, Reddy Mohan, sir.
Very good. Your answer is perfect. This cannot be granted patent. Okay. So this is called inventive step. This criteria is called inventive step. Okay. So the patent office can collect evidences and it can say that the walking stick cannot be granted. So this is the legal definition of invention. So what is the legal definition? Now there are some differences. If you observe the walking stick of this, what is there in red letters? Okay, if you see here, it has got this foldable feature, a foldable walking stick having upper portion, middle portion, toggle switch, flashlight, push button. Okay, those are all different, some small differences. So the question the patent office will ask for itself is, are those small differences between the invention seeking patent and the evidences that are available to us really difficult to think of? Do they really matter? Are they really sufficiently so difficult differences to think of for any person, imaginary person I told you, okay? So that, and can't he think of? Should this be granted monopoly even though these two evidences are available? That is the question that we have to ask. That is what we will decide by way of inventive step. So the legal definition is, or the simplest legal definition is, are the differences between the invention seeking patent and the evidences available to us in our hand really difficult to think of for an imaginary person? I should not be thinking, Supreme Court judge should not be thinking, an idiot should not be thinking. Okay. So whether in the light of evidence available, should this be granted patent or not is the question. Because what is the power that the patent applicant gets is enormous negative right to stop others from making, and he can sell at any price he wants. Okay. Next. Now, one more very important thing for you, whoever is good at computer programming. Okay. If you are good at computer programming kind of this thing, the evidences that I have shown you are collected by what I have shown in the bottom by computer commands, commands given as shown in the bottom. Okay, And these evidences can be collected from 140 million documents without reading all of them in 1 or 2 minutes, 1 or 2 hours. I'm sorry, 1 or 2 hours. So this is called Boolean logic based evidence collection, and it is called searching, patent searching. It's a very good patent job opportunity. So if you, even if you are not good at English and writing whatever I have told, engineers or even science people can actually try this one. This is also a very good career opportunity. Okay, any questions here? Otherwise I'll proceed further. Fine. Now we have only 8 minutes left, so I'll skip this one. I'm skipping that one portion. This thing. There is another criteria that simply says that anything that somebody wants to make file an application, it should be capable of making it in the industry. That is another criteria. But otherwise, these three are the novelty and the inventory step and industrial applicability. These three are the criteria the patent office checks. And whether you have sufficiently written what is about what is the invention is also another criteria. That is the fourth criteria. That's it. Okay, not everything in not all inventions can be granted patents. Say for example, software, atomic energy, something like medical methods, diagnostic methods. These things cannot be surgery. These things cannot be granted, and a mathematical method cannot be, a business method cannot be, a computer program only or algorithm only cannot be granted patent. Okay. So and so that is that thing. Now I'll come to the administrative part. The Parliament makes the patent law. Ministry of Commerce in Government of India looks after the policy and it makes the rules. The Patent Office is called the Control General of Patents and Designs. So they will administer the law and rules. And in that the patent office comes, and if the controller who has granted a refused a patent application, if it is not satisfied, anybody can go to High Court and Supreme Court, okay, and they can appeal for along with sufficient reasons. Okay, now the patent office has is looked the Control General Office has got patent office, design office, trademark office, geographical indications, copyright office, all the intellectual properties under one heading. So this is what it is. Okay. Next, once you file patent application, what is the how to file patent application? It is written there, but for each one of them there are strict timelines. Everything you have to do within a time, within a specific time, and it is impossible for me to cover all those things. And you will also get frustrated by the legal aspects of that. So I just made a chart here. So you file an application, after 18 months it will be published, it will be told everybody, look, I am trying to get a patent, so be very careful. Don't do this invention. That is what the publication will try to tell. And it will also give the opportunity to public, general public, that if they want, they can come and oppose the patent. Okay, don't grant the patent. I know this is already there. They can come and tell the patent office. So after publication, within some particular period, you have to make a request for everything. There is a fees associated. I don't know. I can't tell. It is very difficult to remember those things. You can Google for yourself. Okay, a request for examination has to be made. Then an examiner will search for the evidences and he'll prepare a report, and the controller will send it to you. That is called examination process. And if it is all the grounds, whatever is the objections against the grant of patent, we will have to say, if you are not satisfied, you can come back to us, oppose us, you can disagree with us, you can give the reasons. But the patent office has the authority to decide finally whether right or wrong. But I told you, you can always go to higher for legal forums like High Court and Supreme Court. Okay. So, and within the 1 year from the grant, anybody can come to patent office and they can oppose the grant of patent. Say it is there is evidence available, you have granted wrongly, you don't, and so therefore cancel it. After 1 year, you can go to High Court and you can get it revoked also. So this is in short this this one. And again this point. So finally, as I told earlier, within 1 year from the grant of patent, anybody interested can oppose the grant of patent. And after 1 year, anybody can go to the High Courts and they can get it cancelled. But the High Court has to be satisfied by the evidence that you have. Okay. Now, recently, the Minister of Commerce, Government of India has announced some discount in patent filing fees for academic institutions. You can please find in Google or other patent office website to know what is appropriate for you. Okay. Right, and lastly, this is very, very important. So this is not prepared by me. This is the University of California. They have a big patent division, So this is what their point is. Patents are very expensive to create and maintain because law is involved, so patent searching is involved, so everything is very costly. So on an average, a patent attorney here will charge you, patent lawyer will charge you around 1 lakh for filing an application and another 1 lakh for arguing with the patent office. And he will not even give any grant of this thing. So therefore, whenever you want to file a patent, you should decide whether it is worthy of filing, and it is an estimate, and it is the most expensive and imperfect estimate. Okay. And another last point again from the same person, patents are people think that patenting the patents is the ultimate goal. No, in America, at least in all the capitalistic countries, the goal is, or in all advanced countries, is to commercialize the invention. So obtain such claims from the patent office that nobody can make use of such invention and enforce your rights to exclude anybody without use. That is what it says. That. And litigation means go and file a case against them to take royalty. That is what it says. Okay. So I have finished my session. So if you have any questions, please ask me. I'll try to answer them.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, please.
So anyhow, the invention is new invention, right? Any invention, if the new invention is can be patentable. So what is the people? If anyone, if I apply some job, you have any US patent? So why don't think the other patents? Why they are giving the most importance on US patent only? So what about the Japan? Japan is also doing the more invention. India is also nowadays doing the more invention. So new things. Why the people are looking? You have the US patent. So even my seniors ask. So you have US patent?
Okay. Now I'll say. The answer is this one. See, the US is the gold standard in everything. Whether I like it or not, you like it or not. I personally doesn't like them to be gold standard because they really don't do that much research. Actually, they are in the innovation ranking in the world. They are in the 10th position or whatever it is. But in US patent office, the US patent law is different from India, and getting patents is very easy in India, in US compared to Europe and India. The patent law is very flexible, and from their independence itself, they have written their law such that it is very easy to obtain patent for everything under sun. Okay, and US has got that soft power. They have the ability to influence the whole world. Why is it that every one of us is using American English? Why is it that we are using American movies? American movies. Why is it that we are using dollar only for foreign currency, foreign transactions? So these are all indications of American soft power. So that is also the manifestation. Our manifestation means exhibition of the American power. That's it. So people will ask because they are not aware of that. That's okay. I hope this answers your question.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sir, what is the cost of filing a patent in Chennai? Total amount.
Cost of?
How much money we have to pay for filing patent in Chennai?
The cost of patent filing with Government of India is very less. But the cost of hiring an attorney, patent lawyer, and that is very much higher. So approximately, if I believe it is around 20 to 30,000 for the government fees, but the attorney, a reasonable attorney, will charge anything around 50,000 to 1 lakh. Because these are monopolies, the end result is this one, so they will charge that much. But again,
without attorney's support, can we file patent?
Sir, that is why I have shown the walking stick and others where the disclosure was written very less. So if you write on your own, you will be having difficulty in writing what is required to be written. Now, for example, please forgive me, I will be referring to the previous question. The previous question person was asking the question, but the way of expression was actually not correct. I'm not finding fault with him. I'm rather saying that because English is not our mother tongue, and because we have been only taught the technicals to concentrate on the technical skills, in general we lack the communication skills in communicating our thoughts clearly and sufficiently. So therefore we will be missing something, and you miss something, then the patent office will say, I will say, if I am a controller, see, you have missed something, so I can't grant patent. You understood, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. Anyone else? Any other questions, please? Hello. Now, if you have no questions, I just want to say one thing. To explain about patents in 1 hour is very difficult, so I try to make it as simple as possible, and therefore I'm not blaming anyone. It is the limitation of the 1 hour is the issue, probably because of which I had to compress everything. Okay. So if there are no questions, I'll say thank you. So Chandrasekhar Rao garu or anyone else, I suggest that you can take over the.
Sir, can I say the vote of thanks, sir? Hello, sir. I'm audible, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, sir, it's my privilege to propose the oath of thanks speech, sir, and acknowledge the contribution for those who worked hard to make the session happen. On behalf of my college, I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Ravishankar, sir, who spared time from his busy schedule on the grace of this occasion. So today we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and we surely will be going to encourage us in the future events. So your thoughts have enlightened us, sir. A very heartfelt thanks to all the management and the principal, IAC members of SBC, HODs, faculty, and last but not the least, the student coordinators and the students who participate in the session activity. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. So I am